This is a presentation on Introduction to Cryptography by Thirunamakkani, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, St.Joseph's College for Women, Tirupur. Introduction to Cryptography. Cryptography is the science of keeping secrets. Assume a sender, referred to here as Alice, and receiver as Bob. Alice wants to send a message M to the receiver Bob. She uses an insecure communication channel such as computer network or a telephone line. There is a problem if the message contains confidential information. The message could be intercepted and read by an eavesdropper or adversary, as usually referred as Eve. Eve might be able to modify the message during transmission in such a way that the recipient Bob does not detect the manipulation. The fundamental and classical task of cryptography is to provide confidentiality by encryption method. Encryption and secrecy in cryptography includes plaintext, ciphertext, key encryption and decryption process. Plaintext. The message to be transmitted is called the plaintext. It can be some text, numerical data, an executable program or any other kinds of information. It is the message before encryption or after decryption. It is a message in a form that is easily readable by humans. Ciphertext. Alice encrypts the plaintext M and obtains the ciphertext C. The ciphertext is transmitted to Bob. Bob turns the ciphertext back into the plaintext by decryption. The term cipher is an algorithm which is applied to the plaintext to get the ciphertext. Ciphertext is an unreadable output of an encryption algorithm, and it is not understandable until it has been converted into plaintext using a key. It is also known as encrypted or encoded information. Key. Key is a piece of information that determines the functional output of an cryptographic algorithm. Key specifies the transformation of plaintext into ciphertext and vice versa in decryption algorithm. A key is a string of characters used within the encryption algorithm for altering data so that it appears random. A key is added to plaintext to get the ciphertext. Assume a sender wants to send a message reading hello to another person and each letter is replaced with the one after it in the alphabet. Hello becomes IFMMP, which is the encrypted ciphertext using the key +1. This ciphertext IFMMP is sent to the receiver instead of the main message hello, so that the main message is protected from Eve. Encryption process. Encryption is the process of encoding information. This process converts the original representation of the information known as plaintext into an alternating form known as ciphertext. Only authorized person can decipher a ciphertext back to plaintext and access the original information using the key, which is secretly shared between the sender and receiver only. Encryption scheme usually uses a pseudo-random key generated by algorithms. Decryption process. The conversion of encrypted data into its original form using secret key or password is called decryption. It is generally a reverse process of encryption. It decodes the encrypted information so that an authorized user can only decrypt the data because the decryption requires a secret key or password. One of the reasons for implementing an encryption and decryption system is privacy. Encryption and decryption process. Alice A encrypts the plaintext using key and obtains the ciphertext C, which is the encryption process. Alice sends the ciphertext C to Bob. Bob transmits the ciphertext into plaintext using the key. This process is the decryption process. The entire process is known as the encryption and decryption process in cryptography. Thank you. In this presentation, we discuss about the introduction to cryptography.